Taking you live to City Hall now, Mayor Chow is about to talk about priority items before the council meeting. Let's listen in.
I know I have. Whether it's online tributes, media interviews, or a quiet conversation with some of my colleagues, a few words keep popping up. Devotion, service, and commitment. If you ask anyone in her ward, they would tell you that Jay Robinson was an unstoppable force for Don Valley West. And I must say, watching her continue to show up at every single council meeting, every committee and board meeting, even when she was undergoing chemotherapy, she continued her courageous fight, but also continued her public service. And when you think about some of the councillors we've lost in the last decade, Jay Robinson, Pam McConnell, Mayor Rob Ford, they each passed away while in service to the public. And it speaks to all the councillors' devotion to public service. And it is really a privilege to be able to serve to the people of Toronto. On council next few days, today and the next day or so, my first key item we're going to discuss is the asset management plan, which paints a very difficult picture of the challenges we face in maintaining our infrastructure. Talk to anyone that show up at Mel Lastman Square, and in a hot day they would say, the water fountain doesn't work. Well, why doesn't it work? Well, because it leaks down into the parking lot if you keep it open. Oh, then you have to fix the parking lot and the leak. That requires a lot of money. This building, same thing. You're looking at all the roof decks. You look up and some of them are falling apart, and because of the water issue, it needs a major fix. Arena have closed because the roof had problems. Swimming pool had closed because of liners. Parks and roads look rougher. And 4 out of 10 of the city infrastructure are categorized as poor and very poor in terms of the state they're in. It means that our infrastructure is falling apart slowly and require replacement, renovation, rebuilt. And we have an infrastructure gap of $26 billion to maintain the current service level over 10 years. You look at the subway is one very, very important example. And it's not as reliable as we want it to be, because there's a $2.5 billion in our TDC capital backlog. And you've probably heard me say this before. We need new subway cars on Line 2. And we need it yesterday. So once again, we're hoping that the federal government would join the provincial and city government so that we could put the order in so that we can make the service more reliable. Connected to this item, the asset management plan, is the city response to what the provincial government is doing. That's about building new neighborhoods, new complete neighborhoods. And recently, I opened up a beautiful community center, and the library is going to be beside it, and there's a park right in front of it. It's beautiful up in North York, and it's surrounded by a lot of new condominiums. Hundreds and hundreds of residents came out to the basketball court, the community kitchen. There is meeting rooms in there, dance floor. Whoa, people were so excited. But guess what? Building that community center and the library are all paid for by the developers, because we were able to persuade them that in order to build a complete neighborhood, we need all those elements so that local residents have a place to go to. The kids have a place to play. But with various changes under the provincial government, we've lost the ability to do so, which means that we are for 10 years, this coming 10 years, we have lost a potential of $2 billion in building new social infrastructure to support all the new housing that we want to build. Speaking about new housing, I've been talking too much here.
Okay, we've been listening as Toronto Mayor Olivia Chow is speaking ahead of the upcoming council meeting. There's lots on the agenda. Of course, though, she started with the tribute, of course, to Councillor Jay Robinson, who died last week. She talked about her devotion, her service, and her commitment and her courageous fight against cancer. Then Olivia Chow transitioned into talking more about the State of Good Repair Bill for the City of Toronto and also housing. So lots coming up on the agenda. We'll have it covered here, of course, right here on CP24.